Let's make some noise. Come on.
Oh, that's right, indeedy, Nick Foles. Let's make some noise, everybody. Welcome back to the Final Word with MattyB. Oh, man, here on the Instagram Sports Network for our Monday edition of the program. And I know that it's, everyone's sort of getting used to the non-5 days a week thing, but it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I got 3 people on staff here, and we got a lot of post-game stuff. So you got to get me when you can get me. I definitely know we'll kind of segue back into a 5-day-a-week format at some point. But right now, it is what it is. We got to all get through it collectively. So let's soak me up while you can, and it's great to be back. Ooh. Oh, man. Phillies. Did they win? Anybody want to talk to me about the Phillies? We'll Philly continue the conversation of a spirited effort down there at Citizen Bank Park by your fighting Phillies as they fall tonight 13-2, and we had our first position player pitching appearance tonight. Dylan Moore has replaced Cody Clemens and Garrett Stubbs and Armando Sosa as our, position player pitcher, and Dylan Moore got an opportunity to stretch his arm in that disaster at the bank. We're definitely going to get the conversation rolling about that. Probably going to fill up most of our night as we're going to just dissect the first 4 games, because there's some numbers that I want you to be aware of about this baseball team. I'm not just going to come at you with fantastic, comments and what have you. I got numbers to back some stuff up, and it's truly shocking through 4 games. And I also am going to come at you with a different angle about this situation. I know a lot of people want to hang Rob Thompson in effigy, bash Bryce Harper's head in with his own headband. I get that, and you're right, and you're justified. But I'm going to try to assuage your feelings tonight. That's right, MattyB, the purveyor of positivity. I am going to assuage that fear and that feeling of, because I think we're all sharing the same feeling right now. And I think that feeling is we've been bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Right? Is that kind of how we're feeling? I know that's how I'm feeling. Buyer's remorse, let's call in the lemon law, all that nonsense. We're going to explore this from that aspect, because I'm not going to, I'm not going to tell you the season's over 4 games in. Absolutely not. I've seen this team get off to worse starts than this and still have pretty productive seasons. So I am not going to, if you're here to listen to me say it's over and, let's get rid of everybody. No, that's not what I'm going to say tonight. I am not. But I am going to try to assuage your anger and maybe direct it a different way. There's problems. Oh, yes. No. That's I want you to understand where I'm coming from. There's problems here. There's problems that need to be dealt with before this thing does spiral out of control. But it ain't over. It ain't over in a long shot. So the Phillies will be I would say the beginning, middle, and end of all of our conversations. If we can, we're going to work the Flyers in. If we can also we're going to try to work in the Of the Night segment, because I'm going to go 3 for tonight on the Of the Night segment, as well as our card of the night. We're going to try to do all that tonight, along with your day in Philadelphia sports history, if time permits. So just bear with me as we get this thing rolling. Star Wars leading off tonight saying we're not going to the postseason. Star Wars, 4 games in, brother. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that. Season is over. Here we go. Let's come off the top ropes, everybody. Don't know what's worse, the way the Sixers ended or the entire Phillies game. Elephant, and I did not tune into the Phillies game until literally they were reviewing the play that got Rob Thompson ejected. So I missed the 4 opening runs of that. I tuned in when it was literally 4-0. And I was more focused on that 4-0 score, like top of the first? What? So I didn't really I didn't see how it started, but then I watched the rest of the way, and I could have probably done something else with my time, like shave my head with a cheese grater while chewing on tinfoil, and had more an enjoyable time than I did watching that baseball game sort of play out. Joe Hale checks in. What's up, my man? Dylan Moore was the second best Phillies pitcher tonight. And we're going to, listen, as I said, I'm going to attack this from a different angle, but I do want to mention I'm done with Rob Thompson. I've been done with Rob Thompson, but I got off the ledge with it because I stopped being like, well, they're not going to fire him. There's just no way they're going to fire him. He's led this team down some really bad streets and some really bad paths, but his decisions with the lineup over the first 4 games and personnel moves and all that, I'm done. If I woke up tomorrow and they fired Rob Thompson, I would be one happy camper. I really am. And this is not old-fashioned Rob Thompson hate, but I'm fed up. I'm fed up with Rob Thompson. Justin Crawford, why was he off tonight? Again, JT Realmuto, why was he off tonight? We're 4 games into the goddamn season. They've already had a day off in between 1 and 2. Why are these guys getting days off when this team is struggling, when this team is trying to find their footing? You have a young player who's trying to figure himself out at the major league level, and you're giving him the night off because he's, tired? 4 games into the season? I don't understand that. Why is JT off? JT can't hit his way out of a wet paper bag right now. Don't you think he needs to be up there trying to do that? The Otto Kemp left field experiment, I'm also finished with that. I don't need to see any more of Otto Kemp in left field. I actually believed when he made the team, and I understand what it was going to be. He was a platoon player, but I honestly did not think they were going to put him in the outfield exclusively up to this point. I honestly thought he's a primary and infielder, and maybe we sprinkle him in the outfield. Otto Kemp doesn't know how to play the outfield. And then tonight, that was a hell of a try. That was a hell of a play that he made. He timed the ball correctly. But he didn't finish the play. I don't need to see Otto Kemp in left field anymore, at least for a while. I really don't. If you're so dead set on a outfielder, if you're so dead set on a platoon outfielder guy, well, there's Brian De La Cruz, there's Gabe Raconis Jr. when he comes back from injury. Hell, there's Felix Reyes right now that you could probably bring up here that would play a better productive left field, and he's a right fielder, but I'm sure he could get into left field. Then go that route. Because if we're going to play Otto Kemp in the outfield, it's becoming a liability. And it's showed its ugly head in the 2 games that he's played in the outfield. So I don't need to see Otto Kemp in the outfield. And I don't know if this call was from Rob Thompson from the hallway, sticking his head out the clubhouse door, telling Don Mattingly to pitch Jose Alvarado. Why was Jose Alvarado pitching tonight? In what was it, 10-2 at that time? Why would you burn anybody of substance in the back end of your bullpen in a game like that? I don't understand that. I really don't. And again, maybe it's not. That wasn't Thompson and that was Mattingly. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Rob Thompson had a hand in that. But why are you pitching Jose Alvarado in a game like that? He's the back end of the bullpen guy. He's a piece of this team that we need, and you're going to burn him in a game like this? Just amazing. So I am done, son, with Rob Thompson. Joe wants to know if I can open phone lines. Yeah, we'll get to it. I think if there's enough time, if I can get off my soap op long enough, I will. Ricky, my main man, what is up? Harper's batting 063. Yeah, what is it now? 1 for 14? 1 for 15? Yeah, I got nothing here. You're not going to listen. I'm not ready to burn the boats, but I'm also not going to sit here on Phillies Island and sort of justify any of this. It's terrible. And you're going to understand my point here once I get around to making where I'm coming from with this team. Right. Yeah. If the Phillies actually secure a wild card spot and get bounced, they will run it back again. Oh, that's a very good question. And it's part of what I want to talk about tonight. It's an extremely good question. Here's the thing. I don't know if you're a businessman. I don't know what your background in life is, right? The Phillies are a business, and they got to keep people coming out to the ballpark, right? And I know that it's not working right now. The Schwarber, Turner, Harper, JT, whatever else you want to throw in this mix, it's not worked. But you cannot, from a business standpoint, strip it all down and start over. You can't. And one, I don't think they're going to be able to strip it all down. And it goes to my point And this really leads into my point that I really want to discuss. The offseason, this past offseason, was there any realistic expectation or realistic hope that they were going to get rid of all these guys and start over? If you really thought that, if you thought it was so hard to get off of the Turner contract or the Harper contract, you could have gotten off the Schwarber contract, and we'll get into that. But if you think it's so hard or so easy to get off those contracts, then I don't think you've ever run a business. The players have contracts that nobody wants. These players have contracts that nobody's willing to take on. You've made a decision, whether it be good or bad. Now, I don't know you from anything. I don't know how you were, but in 2019, I know I was standing up on the Bryce Harper train applauding that they made a long-term deal. I didn't care about no 13-year contract back in 2019. I wasn't looking at that then, right? And the same thing with Trey Turner. Yes, it was a little bit later on, and he was a little older, but still, I thought Trey Turner solidified a position on top of that lineup that we desperately needed. So I ain't going to sit here and be a hypocrite about it and say, oh, it was a terrible move. I was against it. I wasn't 100% for it. But when you dance with the devil, sometimes you're going to get burned. And this whole business of and I've heard this from multiple people, that this is the last year. This is just their last opportunity to do this. What are you talking about? All these players are under long-term contracts. Nobody's going nowhere next year. I mean, Harper, Turner, Schwarber, JT are all under contract for multiple years beyond this season. Nobody's going anywhere. So to think that this is somehow the magical, last bastion of trying to win with this core, you're fooling yourself. They're not going anywhere. They can't unload these contracts. This team, for good or for bad, and like it or not, and I don't like it, I agree with you, are coming back next year. And they're coming back in 2028. Now, whether or not in 2029 and beyond, we'll see. But they're not going to be able to magically move off of these guys at the end of the season. These contracts are too deep. So to answer the question, yeah, they're running it back again. And yes, it makes me sick, physically ill. Maybe. We'll get into that. Oh, man, it cracks me up. People think Justin Crawford overhyped. I don't understand what you mean by that. You think he's overhyped, or is it that it makes you laugh that people think he's overhyped? Well, please explain yourself. I don't really understand the question or the statement. I'd move Harper down. No, I wouldn't. Oh, yeah, I would. No, he's batting third, right? No. Harper's a 3-hole hitter. That's where he belongs. What are you going to do moving him down? Again, what magical recipe, Star Wars, do you have? Bryce Harper who Bryce Harper is. Kyle Schwarber is who. There is nothing you can do. This is what they are. This is what this team is. You can't move them down the lineup. Why? What is that going to do? Nothing. We have cast our lot to this team, for good or for bad. Again, let me get to my point a little bit later on. Need to fire the Phillies manager. I am on thin ice with him. Right, Ricky? I've never been a Rob Thompson guy. Never have. No. Never thought he should have been brought back after the World Series year. I thought removing Zach Wheeler in Game 6 of that World Series was a mortal sin. I thought it was, man. I thought that was good enough to get you fired. But I was wrong. So then I thought, okay, bring him back in 2023. All of a sudden, you're back to the NLCS. You make some questionable moves, but you still find yourself up 3-2 heading home, and then your offense goes away. I honestly don't know what Rob Thompson brought. And then, of course, the cherry on top of the 2023 season is your last at bat. The last chance you had in Game 7 of the NLCS was Jake friggin' Cave. That clinched it for me right then and there, man. I would have brought the Philly fanatic up instead of Jake Cave. But that clinched it. So he's been on borrowed time with me for a while. Justin Crawford's ground balls will result in one out. What? In out more so versus when he was in AAA. Why? Because the infielders are better in the majors. Okay, well, first of all, he's got to play in order for us to ascertain that. And didn't I argue with you yesterday in your analytic bullcrap? Yeah, I'm really not going down that road with you, man. I don't have the time and energy to explain how your exit velo and launch angle nonsense has ruined the game, and people are starting to figure out how to beat that. Now you're starting to see teams sort of scratch things out. The Nationals scored 13 runs tonight without a home run. They scored 13 runs tonight with athletes, James Wood, C.J. Abrams. They scored 13 runs tonight with athletically fast people on batting, right? So your philosophy about launch angle and exit velo is about 10 years, maybe not 10, about 5 years out of date, dude. So I am not going to entertain that nonsense on this show. So if you're here to get a rise out of me on that, it's not going to happen. The Eagles are signing. Who cares? Sorry, Star Wars man. Who cares? Who cares what the Eagles are doing? I'm not disappointed in Hartberg. He served the organization well and had many clutch plays in the playoffs. Name me 5. Name me 5 clutch plays in the playoffs. I'll wait. I want 5. Matter of fact, give me 3. Give me 3. I'll give you the Attaboy in the Brave series in 24. Or was it 23? Yeah, 23. And I'll give you the NLCS in 22 in Game 5 against the Padres. Give me some more. Am I missing something? Have I not kicked the stone over on anything more on Bryce Harper's clutch plays? I got 2. Give me 3. Give me 3 clutch plays he had in the playoffs. I want to know. I want to know what they are. I gave you 2. Give me 1 more. I think the Sixer season is over. Mercifully, I think you're right. The organization built a poor team around him now, and I think the run. I listen. That is not arguable. That is correct. You know, bringing Harper in was a great little piece. Correct. That no one disputed that. But what they did after that, Schwarber, Castellanos, JT, there wasn't enough diversity there, right? There wasn't enough of a different type of profile hitter, correct? But then again, this also lends into your exit velo launch angle nonsense, how it doesn't work. And again, we're gonna go over some numbers tonight. I think the Phillies have scored all the runs this year via the home run. Am I wrong about that, or they scored maybe one or two without the home run? So they're being like this sort of through 4 games. I want to give you a little taste of it. They're being outscored right now by their opponents through the 4 games, 29-14. That's what so the Phillies are averaging about 3.5 runs a game. Their opponents are averaging over 7 a game. And home runs, let's look at the home runs so far for the season on the Phillies. The Phillies have hit 3 home runs all season long, and their opposition has hit 2. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what's no, sorry. The opposition has hit 5. They have hit 5. So I don't know, man. What am I at here, man? I lost complete. Pepperneck, what's going on, my man? Phillies are now in 4th place team instead of a 3rd. Now, again, listen. Let's get into some of the meat of the show here, and I'll explain where I think you guys are wrong. But again, you know me. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not waving any pom poms. I know you had Homer 2 on the Fighting's final. I didn't see it. I don't know what he was saying about what's going on. I'm sure he was taking it very personally that you guys are bashing the Phillies, but I want to try to be a little bit more down the middle of the road. But let's get into the show, and here's our schedule for the week, in case you missed it. Now, again, I think I said on the top of the program, I will be back here tonight, right? But I won't be back again until Thursday night for the final word. Tomorrow I have nothing, but I have a personal thing I got to attend to, so I will not be able to go on the air. Wednesday I got the Fighting's final, so I won't be on Wednesday night. Then Thursday night I'll be back. Friday night we got Flyers Islanders, and then a TBD. That's going to be at 9:00. But don't forget, it's a Philly Friday Frenzy / Fighting's final twofer, as Big Al will start his Friday night Fighting's final career on this coming Friday. This Saturday, the best of it's a Rap Sports and some post game. And then we turn it all around on Sunday and do it over again. So that is your schedule for this week. So let's get the show going here. Let's strap it in, strap it on, strap it up. Keep your head, hands, and feet inside the car at all times. And let's go for our day in Philadelphia sports history. On this day, back in 2009, in its 4th year in existence, the Phillies celebrated their Paint the Town Red Week, their first time as defending world champions, to commemorate the community service efforts of 9 local champions. The Celebrating a City of Champions press conference featured a dyed red Philly fanatic Mayor Michael Nutter and Phillies broadcasters Tom McCarthy and Gary Matthews recognizing local community service efforts. Talk about a slow day in Philadelphia sports history. But there you go. That was your day in Philadelphia sports history. The 4th annual Paint the Town Red Day. I don't take that for what it is. And that was brought to you by the fine folks at Clear the Ice as we continue on another week of the Flyers. Post-game schedule for the week tomorrow night. Mike Laro, I will have you for part of a twofer on Thursday night because I'll be doing the final word and Clear the Ice. And then I'll be back on Friday with a standalone Clear the Ice with the Islanders, and Mike will have you on Sunday for the Bruins. So we're keeping you covered. The Flyers won't die. They just keep going. But we're gonna carry it to the end. And of course, this is our Fighting's final schedule for the rest of this week. Tomorrow, Big Al will have the Andrew Painter game, and I will be back on Wednesday to send them out the door out to Colorado. So make sure you're tuned in to all the stuff that's happening around here on the network. Here we go. So let's get into the Phillies. And I'm being honest with you. I want to go over some numbers before I get into my meat of my conversation. So through 4 games, I want to keep that perspective. Through 4 games, the Phillies have committed 3 errors. Their opponents have committed 3 errors. That's close to an error a game. They grounded into 2 double plays. That's not that bad. Here's the first glaring number about the Philadelphia Phillies in 2026. Through 4 games, they got 1 stolen base. 1. Uno stolen bases. One of the things that was going to make this team more attractive and more dangerous is creating some chaos on the base paths, i.e. Justin Crawford, i.e. utilizing some of the speed we have on this team. That has not been done yet in 2026. Now, you might say, well, MattyB, there hasn't been many chances. Well, there have been chances. There's been a few chances that were not taken by the fraud manager, Rob Thompson. And, trying to create chaos on the base paths is trying to create something for this team offensively, especially a team that's struggling. Now, granted, have there been a ton of opportunities where the Phillies have found themselves in stolen base territory? No, but there's been a few, and they have not taken advantage of it, especially when the opportunity has arisen where Crawford and Turner were on base together. There needs to be wheels a spinning when that happens. And I don't care if your opponent thinks it's going to happen or not. You got to do it. And this is a knock on Rob. This is a knock on Rob Thompson and analytics. This is what analytics does to this game instead of managing with your gut. Now, Don Mattingly had the opportunity tonight to oversee the rest of this. I'm not really putting much on this game on Mattingly because I don't know how much he was actually managing. I really don't. But, it was nice for at least 8.5 innings to think of Don Mattingly as our manager. I ain't gonna lie to you. Started feeling all giddy, all warm and gushy inside, because for at least 8.5 innings, Don Mattingly was the boss. But there needs to be more. If you're the Justin Crawford, hitting the ball on the ground versus his exit velo craziness, all that is for naught if you can't utilize his speed. And when he does get on base, get him running. And the Phillies have not done that. Now, of course, he's got to play in order to get on base, which I don't know why he wasn't playing tonight, but he wasn't. But 1 stolen base through 4 games. 3 home runs hit, 5 given up through 4 games. Phillies pitchers have struck out 40 of the opposition through 4 games. Phillies batters have also struck out 40 times. So they're averaging 10 strikeouts and they're striking out 10 times a game. So that's balancing itself out with nonsense. 40 strikeouts through 4 games, 10 times a game. Let's look at that without red sunglasses on. That is literally 1 time through your lineup plus 1 that they're striking out. So that leaves you with what? How long does it take you to get through the lineup? 3 innings? That leaves you with 7 innings of offense. Opportunity of 7 innings of offense. Am I the only one who sees a problem there? Am I the only one who sees the handcuffing of this baseball team through poor fundamental teaching? Am I the only one who looks at this stat, and I look at it every year, and it incenses me every year, not as much as RISP, but just about as much. We are striking out literally 1 time through the lineup plus 1. So that means 1 full rotation through, everyone's striking out. And you're limiting your offensive chances. Baseball's not hard, but we seem to want to make it hard. Phillies pitchers have issued 12 walks through 4 games. They're averaging 3 walks a game. This is a team that has been notoriously stingy about giving out walks. I think last year their average was around 3.5 through 162 games. We're up to 3 through 4. Phillies batters have taken 14 walks. Have we done anything with those walks? No, because I'm going to get to that in a second. So it's about averaging about 3.5 walks a game. Phillies have hit the baseball 26 times for hits, 6.5 hits a game. On paper, that's not terrible. On paper, that's a little bit above meh. It's enough to generate offense. But when you're giving up close to 11 hits a game, that's not going to work. And that's what's happening right now. Phillies pitching is giving up close to 11 hits a game. RISP. Here we go. It took me 4 games to get around the RISP. Through 4 games, my friends. 4 games. The Phillies are batting 6 for 33 with runners in scoring position. A ripe 181 batting average through 4 games with runners in scoring position. 181 they're batting with runners in scoring position. And listen to some of these numbers through the 4 games. Tonight, 0 for 11. Yesterday, 2 for 8. Saturday, 3 for 8. Thursday, 1 for 6. That is their RISP. That's what they've been doing through 4 games. In the contrast, their opponents are batting 14 for 44 with runners in scoring position. A 318 batting average. So we're batting 181. Our opponents are batting 318 with runners in scoring position. Do I need to paint the picture anything more for you? Left on base. Through 4 games, the Phillies have left 31 runners on base for close to 8 a game. 8 a game. Our opponents, about 7. So we're getting on base. We're not scoring. Where have you not heard that one before? 8 runners left on base. And then the Pisa Resistance. Through 4 games, we've scored 14 runs. That's about 3.5 runs a game. Our opposition has scored 29. That's about 7. So we're being outscored. We'll use the rule of 5 here by about 3 runs a game. So where can we kind of pin this on? I know a lot of people are talking about the defense and the errors. I can live with that. It's obviously been the very underwhelming pitching and, of course, the continuing struggles of this offense that have really hurt us. You got Sanchez, who pitched a masterpiece. Nola pitched and then you've had 2 clunkers since then. So, it's not hard to sort of pinpoint what the problem is for this team. All right. Now, I do want to get into this. Why are we feeling the way we're feeling 4 games into the season? Is it the Philadelphia thing? Are we like sort of bred through the fires about this and we overreact and all that, and we take things way too seriously? We don't stop and we don't look, read, react. We don't do any of that stuff. We just go right into it, right? And I would normally say, yeah, you're right. But this year's got a little bit of a different tone, especially for me. And I want to tell you why. Am I overreacting about this season? No, I'm not. This is a 90-win baseball team. And I really believe that. Or an 88-win, whatever. This is a playoff baseball team. It is. I truly, firmly believe that. Not a World Series team, but a playoff team. But what I think that's getting, and what's under my crawl, what's burning me right now is I feel used. I feel that Uncle Dave took me to the closet for 10 minutes. Yeah, I do. I honestly do. Because we knew it. We knew it in our heart of hearts. Even the homers did. They won't talk about it, but they knew it too. Running this thing back was not going to work. How could it work? It hasn't for 4 years, but all of a sudden we're going to do it for a 5th year. Now, granted, as I said this during the preview show. I don't think they wanted to run it back. Kinda. I think they had to. Now, the Schwarber contract does make me believe a little bit less in what Dave Dombrowski says and what Rob Thompson say, all that. Because you had an opportunity. This would have been a major, major pivot in this team if you would have just gotten off of Kyle Schwarber. I don't think people would be feeling the way they are now if you didn't bring back Kyle Schwarber. I think they would feel that the team has changed. Now, it may not be for the best, but at least you can maybe hang your hat on, well, at least we're going a different direction with this. But when you brought Kyle Schwarber back and then you had no choice, because, again, was there any doubt in anyone's mind that JT Realmuto was not going to be re-signed? And I firmly believe even if they did get Bichette, they still would have re-signed JT. Because why? Who else are we going to get? We needed a catcher. So JT was coming back. It was a matter, I believe it was the years, wasn't it? No, not the years. It was the money. They were trying to hammer out the money. So the running it back thing was not because of want somewhat. It was because of necessity. And I think we as a collective fan base sat down and came to grips with it and said, you know what? The additions of Justin Crawford, the additions of Andrew Painter, and potentially Aiden Miller, and that was a long shot to begin with, are going to change this team collectively enough to where it makes it seem like it's better. And that's where I think we're all feeling a little used right now because none of that has worked up to this point through 4 games. We're still seeing the same product we watched coming off the field in October in Los Angeles. We're still seeing the same inept offense that has absolutely no ability to situationally hit or fundamentally hit. That is home run or bust, spray or pray. Let's hope we can slug our way to championships. That's what we're feeling right now. We're feeling used. We're feeling violated by our president of baseball operations, and you have every right to feel that way because this is not going to work. Ultimately, this won't work, and we know it. But now, 4 games in, it's become a stark reality that it's not going to work. We are not winning a World Series in 2026. That's not happening, all right? We know that. Now, again, I don't think they're a 4th place team, a 3rd place. They're a playoff team. They are, in my opinion. They absolutely are. But they're not a world champion. And that's going to validate why, it didn't work. Now, what you do forward and what you do going forward, I guess you would have no other choice. We've reached that point now where it's time to start lopping off the management because this is where we've come. Now, granted, I don't know what firing Dave Dombrowski will do. It's, again, you're not getting off of these contracts. I don't care who you bring in here. They're not going to get you off the Bryce Harper contract. They're not. And if they do, if somehow that replacement finds a way to move Bryce Harper, it's not going to be for what you think it's going to be for because a big part of that trade will be the other team eating a lot of that money. So that's going to be considered part of the trade that's going back to the Phillies. So you're not going to get the haul you think you're going to get. Kyle Schwarber just signed a 5-year contract. What are you doing with that? You're not going to be able to move that. So regardless of who you bring in, this is what it is to the bitter end. Now, what that bitter end is, I don't know. Is there a possibility to wiggle your way out a little bit and try some things? Yeah. Right? Is there an opportunity? And my opportunity was Pete Alonso, Luis Ariz, and Kaylee Jansen. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted in the offseason. And then the infusion of the young players. And I think we would have had a different DNA team, but we don't. Now, will Justin Crawford carry his weight at some point? Yeah, if he plays. I don't want him to get too gassed after 2 games and have to, take some time off. I think he does change the DNA of this team. I think he does. I think he flips it a little bit. I think he puts teams on notice. But do we have the manager that will incorporate it correctly? Do we have the manager that will utilize what Justin Crawford brings to the table? Which is the ability to get on base. And then once he gets on base, create chaos on the base paths. So that's the big question for me. Will the manager have the opportunity or have the ability to utilize what we have? I'm not resigning myself on saying, okay, well, it's just a matter of getting off of Harper. Well, it's not happening. Or Turner. It is not happening. Finding a way to maximize what they have left. That's the card we're left to play with. And I don't know if this coaching staff can do it. I don't know if Don Mattingly can do it. I don't know if anybody can do it. I don't know if we're resigned right now to go down in a flaming, vehicle of death hugging Bryce Harper. I don't. But this is the reality, and I think we're feeling a little violated. We're feeling violated. I know I am. Now, I don't drink anybody's Kool-Aid. You guys know me by now. And I'm not worried long term about the pitching of this baseball. The pitching has not been there through the first 4 games, with the exception of 1.5. And I'm going to give Nola a half, just to give it to him. But his performance kind of sucked too. 90-some pitches through 5 innings. But the pitching hasn't been there. The hitting definitely hasn't been there. The manager hasn't been there either. He has not done anything to try to sort of change things. And I don't mean switching up the lineup. I mean doing something different in game. Hey, Trey Turner, why don't you drop a bunt down, try to get on base? Yeah, well, let's do that. Or you know what, Kyle, if you don't want to bat fourth, fine. I'm going to treat you like a 2-hole hitter. You're going to bunt. You're going to bunt and move runners along. And then when you get on base, I'm going to have you steal. Maybe you'll want to bat fourth then. Maybe if I make it so goddamn uncomfortable for you to hit in the 2-hole, because I'm going to treat you as a table setter. I ain't going to treat you as a home run hitter. I'm going to make you bunt. I'm going to make you pull the ball. I'm going to make you steal. Then maybe you come to me and say, "Hey, Rob, bet me fourth, man, because I can't do this." Maybe that's what has to happen. Something different, something to rattle the team. And Rob Thompson getting ejected as an umpire, as part of the Blue Crew. I could honestly tell you that there's probably, if there's one baseball coach manager out there that I would never fear coming out to argue a call with me, it would be Rob Thompson. Never, ever, ever fear it. The guy gets thrown out of the game, and obviously it was because he wanted to fire up his team. How are you going to get? But there's a time and place to get thrown out. You're going to come out and argue a call that was reviewed in New York and upheld by the Baseball Rules Commission. You're going to come out and argue that? Are you crazy, dude? You're an idiot. Go down swinging, man. Go argue a judgment call. But you're gonna get thrown out of a game that after the play was sent up to New York and get reviewed, you're gonna come out and act all big and tough and get thrown out of the game. You look like an idiot. I can honestly tell you that if there's any manager out there on the planet Earth that I would never fear, that I'd actually love to do it, would be Rob Thompson. Rob Thompson is the problem. It really is. It's the problem here and now. Collectively, there's a bigger problem. But right now, the guy pulling the trigger, the one making the decisions on this team, needs to change, and he's not going to change. And I can honestly say through 4 games, he needs to go. Because you're not getting rid of Harper. You're not going to get rid of Turner. It'd be criminal to send Crawford back down. You got to play the hand you're dealt, but you just got to have a better player. And right now, Rob Thompson is our biggest weakness on this baseball team is Rob Thompson. And I feel violated. So that's my sort of where I think a lot of Philly fans might stand. And I've fallen so far behind. I have no idea where I left off on comments. I apologize. I'll tell you what, I'll go down from the bottom and work my way back. Harper might seek a trade. It's possible. Again, all right. Anything is possible. He's got a no trade clause. He could waive it. What are you looking to get back? Am I looking to just dump Harper for no value at all? Yeah, I'm not looking to do that. So, and I'm not looking to suck up all the damn salary. I'm not looking to add the salary as part of an asset. So, you're right though. Anything is possible to happen. Justin Crawford, I don't know. Rookie of what? I don't know what that means. We wanted Bichette since he played the Phillies and signed with the Mets, forced the Phillies to sign JT, otherwise they wouldn't. I disagree. Then who were we signing as a catcher? What was the fallback plan? What was the fallback plan for catcher? Marchand and Stubbs? Marchand and Jordan Disson? Marchand and Hedinger? What was the fallback for catcher? I disagree 100%. I thought JT was in the works. It's been in the works all winter long. Now, JT self-admitted that he may have thought, oh, God, they're going after Bichette. They're probably not going to come after me. But then what was the plan? If they weren't going to sign JT, regardless of whether or not they signed Bichette, what was the fallback plan for catcher? James McCann? Some scrubby-ass catcher off the block? No, man, they were going to go after JT. I firmly believe that. Firmly believe whether or not Bichette was signed or not, JT was coming back. Firmly believe that. Don't know what that means. That faces that. Schwarber had a good challenge today. Who cares? Sick of the ABS already. I'm in total favor of ABS. Let the AI call balls and strikes. Technology is here. I'm sick and tired of it. Sick and tired of it already. What do I think of ABS? I'm sick and tired of it. Nah, it's all right, man. Listen, I get it. But you know what I find really funny is this clapback when they're wrong about the umpires being wrong on ABS. All of a sudden, people want to string the umpires up. Well, listen, that's what you have ABS for, right? To verify that they're wrong. But with the exception of CB Buckner, a lot of the misses have been about what, 1 millimeter off, 2 millimeters off, something around there. Yeah, this is what it is. I'm all in favor of getting the call right, 100%. 100%. They suck with the challenges. Kevin Long, wake up, do your job. It's obvious you're not. Again, Sawers, outline to me what a Major League Baseball hitting coach does. I want to know. I'm not blaming Kevin Long for this. Kevin Long is going to look at tape, bring a player and say, hey, stop dropping your hands. Or, hey, stop lifting your back foot. He's going to point out tendencies. They're not going to change anything. These guys know how they hit. These guys will at least know. They think they know how to hit. They got them to the major leagues. Hitting coaches are there just to help them through tendency problems, just like the pitching coach, which I gave a lot of props to Caleb Kaufman. And we'll see how he does with Painter. But all they're there is to give tips and tendency updates. Hey, man, you're tipping your pitches. Stop doing that. Stop lifting your glove when you're going to throw a fastball. Or stop dropping your hands. Stop leaning back on your back foot. Whatever. They're just there to give tips. Whether or not a player takes those tips, totally up to the player. A lefty is our best hitter, Marsh. And that's a sorry state. No, I don't have to be nice to Phillies manager. Fire him. You have to remember Harper's been in the majors since 19 years of age. So what? I'm quite aware when Harper came to the majors. I knew Bryce Harper when he was 12. Did you? I called the game with Bryce Harper when he was 12 years old. A little known fact about me. I was an umpire in one of Bryce Harper's games when he was 12. I knew what he was a long time ago. I'm well aware who Bryce Harper is. Star Wars Harper is in decent, is in decline. No one. I don't. Is anybody arguing that? Does anybody feel like Harper is not in decline? And when power hitters are in decline, I've never seen a power hitter gradually fade away. They go from bliss level and they fall off a cliff. All right. It's never a gradual decline when it comes to a power hitter. It's always like friggin' like, I don't know. Night and day. John Middleton even told Bryce he's underpaid. Well, John Middleton's a fool. Start me on the owner. All right, let's get the phone lines open. So we are going to, obviously, the conversations about the Phillies. We can talk about tonight. Again, I kind of added some nuggets in about the game tonight, about the situation. Some of the things that irked me tonight. The lineup decision. What was the lineup? Let's go over the lineup one more time from tonight. For the Phillies, Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm, Garcia. I mean, that's nice. Garcia's batting fifth. Sosa, Kemp, Marsh and Marchand. The absence of Justin Crawford again befuddles me. And of course, what's his name? Where the hell's Stott? Yeah, I don't get what we're doing here. I don't understand the manager. I've never understood the manager. Manager got himself thrown out of a game. Taijuan Walker, I didn't even have a chance to talk about Taijuan Walker. 4.5 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 99 pitches through 4 innings. Good God. Man, he's trying to one-up Jesus Luzardo from yesterday, who went, 99 pitches in 5 innings? Taijuan Walker told Jesus to hold his beer. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. Bolin, Meza, Alvarado, again, he pitched a third of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs. They were earned, 2 walks, a strikeout, and he pitched 29 pitches in the third of an inning. So you burned him through for next week, for tomorrow. We can't use him. What was he doing in that game? And then Dylan Moore, half an inning with 1 hit and no earned runs. Finishes with a 0.00 ERA. He is our ERA leader. Griffin making his MLB re-debut. First time in over 1,000 days he's pitched in Major League Baseball. Went 5 strong, 5 hits, 2 runs. Struck out 5 and only walked none. Gave up the home run to Marchand, who I guess was your offensive standout, as he went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. The only RBIs and a homer. So there you go. Drek. Phillies committed 2 more errors tonight. Just a bad baseball game, a annoying baseball game for everything. So phone lines are open. So if you guys want to jump on in, you know the drill. Hit that link. It'll take you backstage. I'll put you up on camera. Or if you don't want to get on camera, you don't have to, but I need to be able to speak to you and hear you. So I need audio. All right, let's go to them right now. Joe Hale joins us. Joe, what's up?
How are you? Can we talk about Peter Martin real quick? What he said today?
What did he say? In his little press conference? What did he say? What did he say that has your interest piqued, Joe?
That he learned how to be a scorer from the top brass of Danny Briere and Keith Jones.
Do you believe that, or is that just player speak?
I believe that, because look at his goals.
Of course you do, Joe. Joe, you're about ready to get your homer card. I'm ready to pass that homer card over to you, man. About to stamp it. Why? Boom.
The Flyers made the right choice and called him up. Breaking news.
No, that was a great. Yeah, no, I was 100%. It was a fabulous decision.
I'm not done. Breaking news: he's in the lineup tomorrow from NHL.com.
Number 94, right?
Replacing Griffin Manning. He's going to play. Ready for this?
Who the hell's Griffin Manning?
Huh?
Who the hell's Griffin Manning?
He played fourth winger.
Oh, never heard of him.
Yesterday. I'm telling you, everybody, get on board. I didn't know Martin can play all 3 positions.
Yeah, well, forwards typically can. It's depending on what they want to put him, what strength they want to put him at. He's was a right-hander, so I don't know. Is it too much to ask him to play center at this point in the season? Probably. Maybe going forward, no. We'll see.
I could see him taking over Kuz as the top center next year.
That would be nice. I think that's what the Flyers. I mean, that would be what the Flyers are envisioning. We got to get a number 1 center. We got to find one. If it ain't him, somebody else has got to be it.
Phillies, where to begin? I understand why JT got off today, because you want him catching Painter. That makes perfect sense.
What? So he can't pitch? He can't catch today and tomorrow? Or today and tomorrow. Joe? 4 games into a season with a day off already. They've had a day off, and you're already sitting your starters. I don't understand that. And JT's not 105 years old. All right, he's a professional athlete who's making $14.3 million a year. He needs to play. And when you're struggling, you got to have your best people in there to work your way out of those struggles. Now, granted, Marchand produced the only runs tonight, but still, I disagree, because this is why we are removed. This don't get me, man. Rob Thompson got to go, man. Got to
go. I think he was calling it from the clubhouse when he got ejected.
Yeah, I sort of why. What was Jose Alvarado doing in that game?
I don't know. So
why do you go to your back end of your bullpen in a game when you're down 10-2?
Because it's Rob Thompson. Rob Thompson was telling Girardi.
Tell Girardi. Whoa. Mattingly.
I'm going to the Painter.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and God knows we need something to get positive about, right? We need to rally around something tomorrow, and I hope he has a good game.
Want to hear something cool in Lehigh? You ready for this? Sure. It was $5 rib.
Oh, really? It was $5. Oh, you went, right?
It was awesome. Good experience.
Yeah. What'd you think about those jerseys?
I loved them.
Me and you we are such opposite. Joe, the front was nice. It was that blue, that metal blue, and the block, like the metal, the metallic, like ironwork letters. But the eagle sprawled out all over the back of the jersey. Come on, Joe, that didn't look a little like I don't know, a little cheesy to you?
I loved it. I actually, it was cool in a gift shop. I should have took a picture of it. They were selling ribs, like stuffed ribs.
Al showed me it. No, he showed it to me, and we were talking about it. On matter of fact, is it in here? No, it's in one of the other studios. Al showed it to me, and it had like it looked like it had got shot in the head because it had the sauce dripping down from his forehead. You didn't get one? Why not? Why didn't you pick one up?
Should have, would have, could have.
You should have, man.
No, I left right after Wheeler.
Oh, you did? You didn't stick around for Kirkering?
Oh, well, I heard Kirkering. So that brings me to my next question, which does Messiah get sent down, or does somebody else, or
Does who gets sent down?
the Messiah, the long man?
Tim Mesa? You talking about Mesa?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. What's the Pop is probably going to get sent down.
Pop deserves to get down.
Yeah, he's not been really good.
What? I know. I would move Harper to 6.
Give me your lineup then.
Yes.
Give it to me. Give me your 1 through 9.
Okay. I would Crawford, Turner, Bohm, Schwarber, Garcia, Harper. I would bet Stott 8th, JT 7th.
Marsh 9.
Yes. I want to see what Garcia,
I don't hate it.
I want to see what Crawford can do in Epner.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I think we might be at that position. I mean, I don't hate it. That would change things up. That would send a shockwave. I mean, I don't hate it at all.
Maybe a jolt of energy.
Yeah, I don't hate it. That
maybe,
and that's what concerns me about the manager. He's not going to provide that. He's going to go with the same thing.
So, say if Thompson did get fired, what would Mattingly's lineup be? Has anybody asked that?
No, and he's not going to. Mattingly's not going to say. And that's funny because Don Mattingly is who he is, and he's one of the fringe Hall of Famer, right? Who played his majority of his career on some terrible Yankee teams. Literally left right before all the glory days began. But he's a hitter, and he's a professional hitter. He comes from that old school, line of hitters. You would think the first person he'd sit down in the office is Schwarber and be like, dude, I don't care, man. You're batting 4th. I'm not doing this anymore. You're batting 4th.
I would go home bat 3rd. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't hate it. It's something different. Something's got to give, man. It's got to change. And you're running out Sosa, his second game in a row he's played, and Otto Kemp. Yeah, these are supposed to be platoon guys, right? Like every now and again you play them.
All right. I'm have experience also. I think Dylan Moore would be better in left field.
Well, I'm done with Kemp in the outfield. Yes. Yeah, I'm absolutely done with Kemp in the outfield. He's been too much of a liability too soon. You know what I mean?
Would you put Dylan Moore in the outfield?
Yeah, sure. Or I'd call somebody up. And I don't know, talk about maybe sending Kemp down. I don't know. We have some options down. Brian De La Cruz. I mean, he's an option you could go and use as a platoon guy.
So, Raconis Jr. is on the DL still.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't think he's going to be up this year. Well,
yeah, I don't think so either.
I could see Dante. Why is Dante Norris starting in Reading?
Because he ended in Reading. So Dante Norris was a 2024 draft pick. He was drafted in 2024. He's rocketed his way up to Double-A in a season and a half. That's where he belongs. He belongs in Double-A. Yeah.
When he's ready, can he play left field?
Who?
Can he play left field?
Yeah, I'm sure he can. Yeah. Sure he can.
Can he play left field?
Yeah, I think he could. I mean, if they give him an opportunity, I'm sure he'll play wherever the hell they want him to play.
Because I can see Crawford being an everyday center fielder. And he's in the lineup tomorrow. Because
hallelujah.
Yeah. No, he'll be in the lineup.
Yeah.
And the Eagles made a move, but who cares?
Yeah, Star Wars mentioned it earlier. Somebody signed a 2-year deal, right? He mentioned it all the way back here. All the way at the beginning. Let me find it. Let me find it. Don't go nowhere. Let me find it. Star Wars, where you at? Where's your... There it is. Chandler Martin to a 2-year deal, linebacker.
He was hurt last year. ACL surgery.
Yeah. No.
Basically, well, breaking news. You guys know this, right? Brandon Graham has a news conference tomorrow. Could it be retirement? I hope so.
Or could it be I'm coming back for one more year?
Well, he said that Sirianni is going to be at the podium with him. And the last time Sirianni was there, 62 retired, and so did 91.
Yeah. Well, Graham was he there the last time Graham retired? I don't remember. Was he at the podium when Brandon Graham retired last year?
Last year, no.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
But
all right. Anything else, Joe?
So, is Big Al going to open their phone lines after, or is he only sticking on for a little bit?
Well, when he does the Friday night thing?
I mean, no, the Tuesday thing.
No. So, well, I don't know what Big Al. I can't talk for him. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's just got post game duty on Tuesday. That's all he's got.
All right, so I can see him opening. I can see him opening up on Friday before.
Yeah, it's totally up to them. Anybody can open the phone lines whenever they want. I choose not to do post games because I want to get through it. But no, they can do whatever they want to do. It's totally up to them.
And one more question, and then I'll let you go. Do you believe in the Flyers now?
No.
Making the playoffs?
No.
What did they need to do to prove it this week?
Joe, it's not a matter of whether or not. So here's the thing. I get where the hype is, and it's been a great ride right now. It has 100%. But where is the ride ending? Is it ending with Stanley Cup glory? Is it ending even in the Eastern Conference Finals? It's going to end in the first round or second round. It's really ultimately it's going to cost us a draft pick. It's going to cost us positioning in the draft. And I'm not ready for that yet, man.
Somebody said we get Toronto's pick.
I don't. Yeah. Well, was that this year's or next year's Toronto's pick? I don't know if it's this year's pick.
I heard it could be unconditional pick. I'm not sure. NHL Network is confusing me because they said at the trade deadline that it could be.
So right now, this is what they're saying, and I'm reading this right off of what is this? I'm reading this off of NHL.com. They have 5 picks in 2026. They have their own first, their own second, their own third. They have a 6th they got from Columbus for the Fedotov trade, and they got their own 7th. Now, next year, is the Toronto pick. It's a top 10 unprotected, so it's next year. So they only have 5 picks this year.
And the Flyers have money to spend. I want to go see them go get a big time center.
Give me a name.
Give me about a day, and I'll look them up.
But here's the problem, Joe. You're not going to find anybody that fits their timeline. You're not going to find a center out there that does.
Columbus is center. They were talking about being a Flyers, being big spenders on him on the trade.
Again, they got $42 million in cap room. They got the 4th most of cap going into the season. The Flyers, they got a lot of money to spend, but they don't. I don't know necessarily they have the players to spend it on. So, but I hear you, man. I do. But it's going to have to be through a trade if he wants to be aggressive. It's going to have to be through trade.
Vlad comes back with one of the top rookies.
Well, he's under contract, so he'll be back. Urson's not. Urson's a free agent, so he won't. Yeah, it'll be him and Bjornsson probably.
And I'm okay with that because the Phantoms look good.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And the guy that they got And a Bobby Brink deal looks pretty good.
David Urick.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
All right, Joe. Listen, we'll talk to you on Thursday. All right, man?
Yep.
All right, Joe Howell. Yeah, Joe's right. Now, so my Flyers thing, and yes, it's been an amazing run. And obviously, the John Tortorella news. You guys tracking this? Tortorella, the new head coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, had his little press conference tonight. Spoke glowingly about the Flyers, obviously, and he also said that the opportunity in Vegas is completely different than any opportunity that he's had recently because it's not a rebuild. Yeah, and it's totally different when you come into a team that's established and can win. Was replaced Bruce Cassidy, and so I don't know where that's going to go. I think they guaranteed him pretty much the rest of the season. There's nothing more after that. He could end up being just this season and gone. But interesting that he's reunited with Carter Hart. You talked about Carter today, how it was nice to see him and talk to him. And then they had some questions about his run with the U.S. Olympic team, which he went underappreciated in his role with Team USA as one of the assistant coaches of Mike Sullivan's staff. But anyway, as far as the Flyers go, it's been an amazing run. It has, and it's this team has shown a lot of character and a lot of chutzpah, right? A little engine that could type stuff. But that's not going to get them a cup. It's not, and they're no closer to getting a cup now than they were, a year ago. What I see this year is now an opportunity heading into the postseason to trade some of these players, some of these role players for potential better role players. You have an opportunity here. Porter Martone's a big kick in the ass too, right? He's going to, he's the future. And how he works out over these next 8 games would be great. I'm not looking for Porter Martone to be the reason the Flyers are going to get to the playoffs or not. I'm looking at Porter Martone to get 8 games under his belt heading into next season. That's all I care about, right? The Flyers making the playoffs to me this year is, yes, they could not be the only team in franchise history not to make the playoffs for 6 straight years. That would be great, obviously. But at the end of the day, all it's going to do is just cost us some draft positioning. And, I want assets now. I still want to gather assets. So next year, if they're aggressive in the trade market, if they can spend their money wisely, if they decide to, maybe a different opinion here. But we still don't have a solid goaltending situation. Dan Vladar is playing well outside of his comfort zone right now. He's never done this before. He's, channeling his inner Pelly Lindbergh, and that's great. Now, does that carry over into the playoffs? We'll see. If it does it carry over the next year, we'll see. But he's not the answer long term in net for the Flyers. There's no he's not it, and I hate to be the bearer of that news. He's not. Just like, the makeup of this team with a bunch of role players is just not the answer long term. They need franchise like superstars. They need players like that to come here and be that guy. They need a Jack Eichel. They need a Connor McDavid. They need a Sidney Crosby. They need a Patrick Kane from 5 years ago. They need a Celebrini. They need a Bedard. They need those guys. They need one of them guys. And is Porter Martone one of them? Is he Porter? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But until we get one of them, and then we get a legitimate back end guy on defense, an Eric Desjardins, a Chris Pronger, a Mark Howe, one of those guys, and a goalie. The Flyers to me right now are just a fun story. That's all. I have no aspirations, and I have no expectations for them, other than to keep building assets and getting better. And that's just the rebuild in me. Mike Papernick, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Matty? So I just want to put some Eagle stuff out there. So Jeff Stoutland yesterday has said, it's on Bleeding Green Nation, he has no idea if he'll have a role with the team moving forward. He said, I have no idea. I haven't had a conversation with anybody about anything like that, from what Lane Johnson said. So he is not working for the Eagles. Nothing.
I never thought he was.
No, but there was supposedly Lane Johnson said he had a role with the Eagles, but he's saying he has no role with the Eagles.
Papernick, if you were Jeff Stoutland, would you want to come back to the Eagles in a lesser role?
No, but he did. But remember, didn't he say he would stick around to help? If he was here and blah blah blah.
I heard the Eagles made some sort of comment, but they said the same thing about what's his name, Padula, when he got fired. That he
Well,
wasn't really fired.
well,
He was just sort of like demoted. They made the
but
same
there's a
type of statement
difference.
about him too. I have no reservations, or I have no expectations of Stoutland being part
All right.
of the Eagles.
All right. Okay. So Carter Hart's back in the NHL, huh?
Yeah, he's been back. Yeah, he signed back in January with the Knights.
Okay. My views are my views. I'm going to let you know that right now.
No, I know. I got you, man.
He is the Ben Roethlisberger of hockey.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, man. I mean,
that
he
dude
was found not guilty of, or he was found.
yeah.
Well,
They had no
wasn't found
evidence.
innocent. He was found not guilty, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Crown did not bring out a good enough case against him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Allegedly.
Yep. And the NHL took him right back. Yep.
Took them all
Man,
back, actually.
Man, it took them all back. Well, Ray Rice smacked his way. I get it. Yeah, boy, he got exiled real fast. Brandon Marsh, whatever. Okay, so the Phillies. Let's get to these Phillies. 13-2, fourth place this year. They might win 78 games. I'm telling you, it's going the rabbit hole. And I get it's only 3 games in or 4 games, but to lose games the way they're losing and not hitting, that's the problem. Yep. And the pitching, Sanchez pitched really well. Nola, the problem with Nola is not that he didn't pitch well. He don't, for some reason, he always has a high pitch count. He always has like 70, 80 pitches going into the 4th inning. That makes no sense to me.
He had 99. He had 92 and 5. 92.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. But what I'm saying is, like, he don't. I don't know what the deal is. And Luzardo, I don't know what happened. Whatever. And then now Taiwan. Now all the eggs are in Painter's basket.
Oh,
and then I hear Wheeler's name. Now, boy, May 28th is getting pushed up. I think that's a mistake if he's back. Because I don't know. Well,
so the Pigs made an announcement. He's pitching Friday for Lehigh Valley in North Carolina for the Bulls, or against the Bulls. He's getting another AAA start.
Well, yeah, that's because
then he's going to Reading for another start after that. So that lines you up mid-April. So you could see him at the end of April. There's a possibility.
Yeah, they're just. This season's this team's in trouble. They're just, it is what it is. I ain't gonna fight. I ain't gonna even whatever. Harper's not hitting. Nobody. The top 4 aren't hitting. Nobody's hitting. The only person who's hitting, I think Stott's hitting. I think Crawford had a couple hits.
Stott's not playing. I don't know why isn't he playing? 2 games.
Oh, because he don't bat against. He don't hit against what lefties.
Well,
he won't let him hit against lefty. He won't start him. He's a moron. Fire the guy. You got to change.
And that's my point here, right? Because I don't know if you can do anything with the personnel. You can't. There's nothing they can do. But they need somebody in there that can utilize them better. They need somebody in there that can put them in better positions because this guy ain't doing it. And tonight was one of the. So the man gets thrown out of a game after arguing a call that was reviewed. So New York upheld the call or overturned it, whatever, and he's going to argue with the umpires? What the hell do you want them to do? The league took a look at it and overruled it, man. What do you want from me?
Well, this is buffoon move number 2. Didn't he call a reap? Didn't he bring it to the umpire's attention about the ball that was hit off the guy's foot, and the umpires didn't even know it yesterday or the day before? And
but then they overturned it. They conferred and they overturned it. Yes.
Yeah, that's because he brought it to their attention.
Right.
So they had no clue. They had no clue. They had no clue that it even happened. And this buffoon did it again. So that's buffoonery number 2.
So let me explain how this works with the umpire crew.
Buffoonery number.
Hang on. No. You're not going to take a shot at the umpires without me responding. So in that case, that call was the home plate umpire's call. He did not see it. Somebody else did see it out there. Somebody did see it because they came together and they talked about it. So they overruled it on the field. Yes, they came together and said, "Okay, we'll discuss it." Somebody said, "Yeah, they saw it." So that's how that works. It was the home plate umpire's call to make. So he made it, but then it was challenged, or Rob said, "Hey, can you have somebody? Can you guys get together and talk about this?" And they did, and someone said, "Yes, it was fouled off." So that's how that works. But tonight,
I'm not taking this. Yeah.
Tonight, the umpire, Rob Manfred, was it went to New York, and the league reviewed it, and then he gets thrown out of the game. Obviously, it was to fire up the team, but this idiot picks the wrong moments to get thrown out on. I'm not getting thrown out of a game arguing a call that was upheld by the league or overturned by the league. I'm going to go and argue a judgment call, whatever. He's out at second or a ball or something like that. I'm not going to go get tossed out of a game that was reviewed by New York. I look like an idiot, man. I want to argue with the league. Dude, what do you want from us, man? The league looked at it, overturned it. The ball was dead. Runners go back. We play. And he's going to get thrown out over that? He did it to get his team. He's an idiot. The guy is liable. He's negligent. And Mike, listen, you might have to make a decision. If they can't win, if they go to Colorado 1-6, because they go to Colorado and San Francisco.
Yeah, but does Mattingly want the job? I mean, he might quit. He might. I don't want to deal with this. I mean, seriously. I mean, he might up and quit. I mean, does he really want to be part of this? I mean, it's just buffoon. He's a buffoon, dude, and it's just like it's horrible. I mean, I'm watching, and and I love Mike Lauro. But the Phillies are, I know it's 4 games, but they're a shambles. They are. Yeah. They are a shambles. And they were, I look, whether I was right or wrong, I was never a fan of the players going to the World Baseball, certain players going. They should have focused on the season. But whatever. I mean, they went, it's an extension of spring training or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I just don't. I think you focus. Now Harper's batting .063, and then Mike says something about like, oh, look at all the players. Well, he wasn't defending it. He was saying, and I think he was right. After the World Series, played the World Baseball Classic, which I think they should. And he was like, but look at all the other players not hitting. Well, what's that tell you?
But I don't care about the other players not hitting. And there's some players that are hitting that went to the Baseball Classic. The correlation, to me, is not. I'm not hanging my hat on the World Baseball Classic. Harper struggled in the World Baseball Classic. He's struggling now. It's not like he was batting the cover off the ball, and then now he comes here and he's struggling. He wasn't hitting in the WBC either. So
I got an idea.
What?
Everybody should stand up tomorrow and clap for Harper when he's up to bat.
Are we at that point now? Standing ovation for Natalie?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they did it for Turner, turned him around. I mean, you might as well do it for the showman. I mean, they're not. I mean, what's he going to say? He's batting .063 because he's got Bomb behind. Well, Bomb has a home run. You have none. So
no. Elite players rise above, man. No, I'm not. You bat where you bat in the lineup, and you perform there, and that's what you're an elite player. So I'm not buying that, but.
Nothing. A game like this, you shouldn't see Alvarado in the game.
Yeah, come on, Mike. What was that, man? What the hell was that?
I missed the game, but I saw. Because I was at work, but I was reading the box score. I'm like, why is he in the game? Like, this is where you bring in like the guys you normally don't see all the time.
The long guys.
But Alvarado gives up 4 runs, and then the other guy gave up. I mean, it's.
And Alvarado threw 29 pitches in a third of an inning.
You won't see him for 6.
He can't pitch. Yeah, he's 2 weeks.
No, he's done for 6 months. He's done till the end of the season. These pitchers can't pitch more than 10 pitches. You won't see him till June 1st. He's done. This is how it works out. I mean, Duran. Look, the other night. Now, this is just me saying. This is my opinion. Duran should have never started the 10th inning pitching. Why he starts now? And I understand what Robbie's doing, but I wouldn't have done that. This is where they need it. They miss a Taiwan Walker for 1 inning or 2. A guy that can do that. Instead of throwing your closer. Yeah.
Or Kirkering, yeah.
Well, or the new guy, whatever that guy is, the guy they got from the Cubs. Yeah, and Pop and all these other guys are supposed to be. Yeah, Keller had Keller probably looked at his contract and did the Andrew McCutcheon. Did you see what they signed me for? I have 1 good year. Yeah, I'm telling you. So I mean, maybe it all comes together, but I see 78 wins, 80 wins at the most, not making the playoffs, and it's just going to crumble. This team's in trouble, man. There's no personality on this team. There's no dog in this team. There's no there's nothing. There's nothing. There's no. They're just like Otto Kemp's. He's horrible. Playing the outfield, he's back.
We're going to put him back there, but we're going to put him in there. We're going to keep starting him in left field because he's going to turn the corner. I mean, the play tonight, that was a tough play to make, but he still should have made it. He's out there playing it. The other plays that he mishandled earlier in the Texas series was terrible. He mishandled both of those plays. He misjudged both of those plays.
I've been saying it. He ain't an outfielder.
No, he's not. And I thought, honestly, okay, he'll be used in spots in the outfield. I didn't know that's all they were going to do with him. I mean, good God, he's an infielder, man. But play him in the infield.
That's what he is. Play him at first. How's this? Well, you could play him at third, play him at first, teach him a little second base or something. I don't teach him. He plays first base. Move Harper to DH for a night. Give Schwarber a break or something. I don't know. Or put Schwarber out in left field for a little while. I mean, you got Gilbert Rincon. I mean, how dare Dante Nuri come up? But because he's got a hit and all this stuff and blah blah blah.
Might see him soon.
Dante Nuri with one eye, with an eye patch on one eye, could probably hit better than Kemp. Yeah, I mean, come on. What did they? What I don't understand is what did they want to see from him? He whether it was AAA guys or whatever major league guys. He produced in the World Baseball Classic on a high level, and they shoved him back down. But because they want to lose a year, who cares about the year? My God, by the time he comes up, it's the Phillies ML. He'll be 29 years old, a rookie. I mean, then you only got him for 4 years. Then he's going to jet. He ain't going. Look, I didn't have expectations because maybe I'm jaded, like I said, for the last few years, and maybe me being jaded, I was hoping they would prove me wrong, but I don't know. I mean, who do they got? They got the Rockies after this series. You said
they got the Rockies, and then the Giants, and then they're home against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. Well, let me think. So they got to win at least these 2 games against Washington. They have to win 2 against Colorado. I'd say 2 against them all.
But they never win in San Francisco, so they got to go to San Francisco in April and play. Yeah, it's not, I don't know, man. It's not the best way. And this is actually the easy part of the Philly schedule. The first 40 games, they play like one playoff team from last year, and they're struggling. So
with Wheeler's injury, they said May 28th. How are they bumping him up? If he's getting bumped up, it's almost a month ahead of time.
Maybe he's responded to the rehab. I don't know. He looks skinny to me. He looked like he lost a lot of weight when I saw him.
Maybe he didn't want. Maybe he didn't want to put any weight on because he was out. You know what I mean? Because he couldn't work out with the arm and all that. Maybe he just did the opposite. Instead of putting weight on. I know it all comes down to offense, but I've been saying it. I get the pitching staff, but it comes down to them guys. I mean, and they only got one good pitcher on this staff so far.
Yeah.
This team, they're. I mean, nobody's hitting. I mean, why don't they start a fight or something? Just go out and brawl with the other team or brawl between themselves. I mean, they have no life in them. There's no life, and I'm tired of hearing 4 games in. That's all I heard tonight from Mike, and I love Mike Laura, but I don't care if it's 3 games in, 2 games. This team is a wet paper towel right now. It's just nothing there. And so they've taken on their manager's personality. And that's why they're so bad. It's horrible. Mattingly's sitting there going, they're going to ask me to be an intern. I'm going to quit. Know who's going to be that? Know who's going to be the coach? Dusty Watson, Caleb, Kevin Long. I mean, you might see JTB play. I mean, he might be the best choice, be the player coach.
Gonna be a little Jake Taylor going thing.
Wait, Party Boy's out there. He might be there.
No, Party Boy is back. He cleared waivers. He's back in Lehigh. He took the AAA assignment. He's back in Lehigh.
Why wouldn't he? That's Robbie's man crush. He knows he's going to be up in September. He knows he's one of the players coming up.
Garrett Stubbs is back in Lehigh.
And don't be surprised if you see Kemp go down and Otto and Garrett Stubbs running around left field or playing third base. Weren't they training him? He played third base in spring training. This is horrible. This is like, you can't make this stuff up. This is like, look, just fire the dude. Look, John Middleton, Robbie must have pictures on him or something, because I don't know what Middleton's blind. I mean, he can't do the eye test on any of this, and it don't take a genius to figure out that your manager sucks, the team is built wrong, and just clean house right now. That's your best bet. The clean house. Try to get rid of some of this payroll. You got the CBA. You got two good young pitchers. You got three really locked up in Luzardo, Sanchez, and Painter. You got Wheeler locked up. So your pitching staff's there. Start clearing some of that dead weight. See who wants Turner. See who wants Harper. Possibly Schwarber. Just start cleaning some house a little bit. One of the three got to go, and bring some talent in here, man. Get some of these young guys up, because this team don't have no heart to win anything.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good.
That's my Broad Street take.
Is that your Broad Street bottom line?
Bottom line, because I've watched. I got to see the games over the weekend, and it was bad. It's bad. I mean, and then 17 hits tonight for the other team.
Yeah.
And the Marlins, you called it. The Marlins are what, 3-4-0? 3-0, 4-0?
Yeah, good.
I mean, right now they look, because they're hungry.
Good. The Nationals look good. It took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs coming in here. So I mean,
because they're hungry players. They're kids. They have nothing to lose.
No.
That's what it is. They're playing with house money. The Phillies have everything to lose. See, they should just go out there and play like house money and just be relaxed. Instead, they're let's swing for home runs every time we're up. Well, how's that working out?
So with runners in scoring position, the Phillies are batting 181 and their opponents are batting 318.
You can't make this up. Wait, it's 3 games. It's 4 games in, so we shouldn't worry.
Yeah, well, like I said at the top of the program, it's not necessarily the 4 games that concern me. It's the fact that we bought into the, running it back. Some people bought into running it back. And you're seeing what exactly this team is. There's no magic switch. There's no light switch being flipped here. It's what they are. And even if, and I don't think this is going to continue, they'll pull out of it, but they're not a World Series winning team. That's what scares me. Or that 4 games in, I've known that they're not a World Series winning team, but we had another chance in the offseason to do something about that, and they didn't. And now they're right back where they are. They're right back in their same old habits. And it's not 4 games to me. It's a matter of about 400 games, because this is the same team year after year that fails, and there's no changes being made. And there's all this, well, it'll be fine. No, it's not going to be fine. It is what this team is, and it's not a world champion.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, wait, let me say this. On paper, they are. They're a World Series or bust team in my eyes. On paper, not on in the division. No, just on paper. That team should. I mean, but they're. 400 plus game. My God, I mean, it's like, and they just keep running. Like you said, they're just running it back. The manager just keeps putting the same lineup out there. There's no changes. There's nothing. What did they think was going to happen? Seriously, like you said, was it going to be some like magical button or magical pill they're going to take?
That's what they thought.
And if they don't have, look, if you don't have the money, then maybe you gotta make a decision on Harper or Turner and have to trade one of them to try to get some more money in here.
But they had the money. But they went out and re-signed Schwarber. They had the money, and they were going to re-sign Bichette. They had the money. They did have money. They could have done something different, and they didn't. That's the issue. That's my issue. They did not do anything to improve. Whether or not Schwarber he's a good player. Yes, JT's a good player, but they are not working here, and they did nothing to address that.
What killed the Phillies? Yeah, what killed the Phillies is they can't trade Bob and it's not like they could just designate them for a DFA them because they have nobody else that can play third base. You can't start a Mundo Sosa there for the next 95 games of the season. No, that's so they're kind of stuck with that, and like you that's the thing. I mean, we're all hope. This whole team's on hope, and we were hoping to see Bomb traded, which wasn't going to happen unless the Phillies said they'll take the 2,000 player and some person's. Whatever, some custodian they'll trade them for, and bring them over. I mean, that's what they should have done. They should have traded them for just some cash consideration. Just trade them Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needed a third baseman. Trade them to Pittsburgh. Take 50 grand. Who cares? They're taking on this contract. Take 50. Who cares? Trade them for nothing. Whatever. Bag of peanuts. I mean, but we're stuck with these guys. We're stuck with Harper. Harper and Turner don't have to go nowhere. They don't have. They can sit there when they're 39 years old, going, ha ha ha! I'm making $35 million a year, and I'm batting 200, and I ain't. And Turner can't play the infield. Harper probably can't play first base. He's probably DH and hitting 15 home runs a year for the money. So we're stuck. Yep. I mean, there's long-term contracts. I was never a fan of them. They should have gave contracts out like 5 years, like $200 million or something, 250. Never not these 10, 11, 12, 13. And I want people to remember this. We weren't Harper's first choice. Harper was going to be a San Francisco Giant, except he didn't want the deferred money. So people, please remember that. We were not Harper's first choice.
No, we weren't, Papernick. Listen, I'm going to let you go.
People, everybody remember that.
I agree. We'll talk Thursday.
Have
all
a
right,
good night, Matty.
Yep. Thursday, Papernick. Okay, I'll be back.
Oh, you're not on you're not.
No, so okay. I'm not on tomorrow.
All
I got something I got to do,
bye.
And then Wednesday I got post game, so I'll be back on Thursday. All right, Michael Papernick, my man. He speaks truth. He does. He speaks the truth. But again, I'm not wrapped around 4 games. No, I'm wrapped around 400 and some odd games. I'm wrapped around the same thing. And even when you do have a chance to change things with the Crawfords of the world and the Millers of the world and players like that, you're reluctant to use them. And you're reluctant to use them for their God-given talents. 1 stolen base in 4 games. 1. And Crawford's been on base multiple times, and he has no stolen bases. And he had the night off because he played 2 games, and apparently that's too much to play somebody back to back. So it really boils down to almost like a situation with Joe Girardi. They're not listening to him. I'm not saying that they're not listening to Thompson, but Thompson's pressing all the wrong buttons right now. And there's just no, they're not winning a World Series with Rob Thompson as the manager. They're just not going to. And if that's not going to happen, what are we waiting for? What are we friggin' waiting for? It's not a matter of saving the season. It's a matter of maximizing the season as much as you possibly can with what you have. Would Mattingly be better? I don't know. You'd be different. And right now, that's what we need. We need different. We need something different. We got the same players. Nothing you can do about that. And those players that don't work, it hasn't worked. And I'm not, I've said it all along. I went into this season with an open mind because of the infusion of some young talent. And who knows how much more that talent might show up. Now, the injuries of some of these players early on is not good, but I still think that some more of these younger guys are going to make their way up here at some point. I don't think the Phillies are going to have much of a choice this year. I don't know the longevity of Otto Kemp playing left field. Right? I mean, I think they may have to do another option there, but if you can't change the players, which the core you can't, it's just not going to be able to. I don't think anyone's taking Bryce Harper off the Phillies' hands. I don't think they would. I don't. Especially if Maybe I should rephrase that. I'm not saying they wouldn't take him off our hands, but we're not going to get what we think we're going to get back for him, because taking that money is going to be part of the trade. So I think that would hinder our return value. Schwarber's here, 5 years. Somebody take him off our hands. Again, someone's going to have to eat that money, and he's going to go to a team, because are the Dodgers going to take Kyle Schwarber for 5 years? No, they're not taking him for 5 years. The A's might take him for 5 years, but the A's are going to say, okay, well, we're sucking most of this money up, so we're not going to send you back our top prospects that you'd want in return for a Kyle Schwarber or a Bryce Harper. I don't see a magic button or a wand that you can press or wave to fix the players. They're here. That's what we have. It doesn't work. We know that. And that's what's frustrating about this. That's my whole argument tonight. Not that we're 1-4 and we're getting woefully outplayed by every team that we played so far. It's just that a lot of us talked ourselves into this being okay again. And we're 4 games into a season that looks like it's on the brink. It does. And I agree with Kaepernick. I love Mike Lawler to death too. But it's not about 4 games. It's never been about 4 games. It's about 400 games of the same thing. Just because it's a new season doesn't matter a hill in hell if it's the same people. This is going to end up just like every other season that preceded it. They're going to get hot. They're going to get good. They're going to get better. They're going to get to the playoffs. And then before the leaves can turn, they'll be sitting home. And that's not acceptable. And for those of you out there who think the core is going away at the end of this year, tell me the recipe for that. How are you moving off of them? How are you going to do that? It's just not going to happen. Alec Bohm will be gone because he's a free agent, right? Taijuan Walker will be gone because he's a free agent. Schwarber won't be gone. Harper won't be gone. Turner won't be gone. JT won't be gone. They're all coming back because they're signed, sealed, and delivered. So if you're working with these players and it's not working with the manager and he's afraid to do things differently, he's afraid to sort of try something new, then maybe it's time to put somebody in there that can maximize this team and try something different. Because anything that Rob does at this point is going to look like desperation anyway. The ship has sailed. But we have a whole 158, 7 games left. Woo-hoo, can't wait. Can't wait. I think Bryce is going to okay a trade if the booze continue. I again, okaying a trade, MP. I get it, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't, and I'm not saying that he's not maybe already thinking about it. But okaying a trade in Bryce Harper's mind to the Phillies saying, hey, I okay a trade is totally something different than somebody trading for him. Because, again, if you can find somebody out there that wants him, what is the value you're going to get back? You might get screwed on the deal because of the money. A team is going to look at that money and say, no, we'll take him. We're going to eat this amount of money, and this is part of the trade that we're going to eat this amount of money, or we're going to eat all of it, whatever the case may be. So we're going to send you back 2 lesser players, 3 lesser players, whatever the case may be. But that's going to be part of the negotiation process with a Harper, a Schwarber, a Turner. The money, we're taking this money over. That's part of the trade. We're taking a risk here. I'm not sending you my best AAA prospect, for eating 8 years of Harper's contract. No, I ain't doing that. There are plenty of teams that still think Bryce is elite. I disagree. I don't think there's many teams that think he's still elite. And again, I think he is elite. Don't get it wrong. It's never been a question of that. He's not clutch. And that's where I think a lot of teams are going to be really like, again, a team like the A's. It makes perfect business sense for the A's to bring on a Bryce Harper. They're looking for a face to that franchise. They're about ready to move to Vegas. Hometown kid, right? Matter of fact, throw Stott in that deal too. But it's just a matter of, coming up with a fair trade. And the A's got prospects. They got oodles of them. But I don't know if they're going to give them up. I really don't. 1 for 55 batting ain't elite. Yankees will take them. I can't argue that. 1 for 15 is not elite. But also it's not clutch either. Because he's had some opportunities to drive in some runs. And other than the one, which I give him credit for, because he basically bulled a pitch with a broken bat. It was like game 1 against the Rangers, knocked in some runs there. I mean, that was a pretty impressive single. Other than that, it ain't been nothing. I agree 100%. 1 or 4 games in is not the issue here. It's not. To me, that's not the issue. Because as an intelligent baseball fan or intelligent Major League Baseball fan, 4 games is a drop in the bucket of the season. It ain't nothing, right? It ain't absolutely nothing. Now, do you want to come out of April 10 games up under 500? No, right? You don't want to do that because you're going to have a hell of a time pulling yourself out of that. But it's not about 4 games with me. It's about feeling violated by Dave Dombrowski with allowing him to bring this core back and still having the same result. And it's not about 4 games. It's about 400 games. So everybody out there saying, oh, it's only 4 games, you're missing the mark by about 397 games. It's been a lot more than 4. So that's my point here. Glad we weren't on that umpiring crew tonight. Brutal game for those boys. I mean, are you talking about the call that was reviewed and, they killed it and all that? I don't know. I mean, in a 13-2 game, it's not going to be the cleanest game anyway, but I relish game. Like I said earlier, I said, if there's a manager in any level or coach at any level of baseball that I would never be afraid to confront on the field, it would be Rob Thompson, because he's such a joke. I would love to hear what he sounds like when he gets mad, because I'd be laughing at him. As an umpire, I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face. I'm like, you're an idiot, dude. Get out. Oh, man. How big is Andrew? It's a lot bigger than it probably should be. And that's not right either, because this kid has got nothing. He's got no skin in the game right now. We're going to expect him to come in and stop the bleeding. I think a lot bigger than it needs to be. A lot bigger than it should be. Poor guy. But it's actually going to be a boost for a lot of people, because we need a little excitement, man. Something to get excited about. And that is something to get excited. So Andrew Painter will make his MLB debut tomorrow for the Phillies. And this is our Fighting's final lineup for tomorrow. Big Al will have you on the call. I'll be back on Wednesday for the business person special. We're not going to do the card of the night or the night segment. I'm already coming up on 2 hours. We're going to pull the plug here tonight. Thanks a lot. We continue the Phillies conversation for obvious reasons. We took it a different way, right? There is concern. It's concern. And it's not concern because of 4 games. It's concern because of 400 games. We did not talk about the Flyers nearly enough as I wanted to, but it was going to happen that way because of the Phillies being the main topic, and the Eagles are still out there somewhere. So Thursday night, I'll be back here on the Fighting's final word, and I will continue that conversation at that time. So remember, I will not be here tomorrow. I will not be here Wednesday, but I will be back on Thursday night. There's our schedule. Post-game laden. So we'll see you on Tuesday or Thursday night when I'll be doing a twofer for the Clear the Ice and the final word. So until we talk again on Thursday, you guys have a great rest of your night. Go Phillies. We got another chance. Great thing about baseball, we have one more chance right around the corner. And you got to shake off those cobwebs. Porter Martone or Andrew Painter tomorrow night. Who has the better game? Yeah, I guess it is kind of shaping up that way, huh? They're both going to make their debut tomorrow. Is it a matter of who has the better game or who has to have the better game? If it's who has to have the better game is Andrew Painter, he probably has the better game anyway. He's got more of an opportunity to have a better game. But we will talk tomorrow, everybody. It's been an honor and a privilege to speak with you this evening. Go Phillies, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you Thursday. Make sure you're tuned into the network for all the great things that we got going on. Take care.